Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode number 20, I think. 20 of Three Men on the Record. And,
20? We haven't gotten canceled yet? That's amazing.
No, maybe someday, but we're at 20. We haven't been canceled yet, so 20 is a good thing, which I can't believe it's been 20 already. So welcome in, guys. We got the usual suspects. We got Jake, Scott.
Hey!
And we also have our special guest, Wes. And so
Hello,
how you doing,
everyone.
Wes?
Hey, very good. How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. So we'll give you the opportunity to tell us a little bit about you and why you're here.
I am here because, well, I unfortunately got into the world of selling records. Just kidding. It's not unfortunate. I met Scott and Jake at the Austin Record Convention a few years back, and I work for a little shop here in Tempe, Arizona called Planetary Sounds, and we travel around and do those shows. And then I've been doing the Whatnot thing with D&D Collectibles Texas, and then our bond kind of grew from there. And now I've been asked to be on the pod.
Awesome. Well, welcome in and
Great to have you.
great.
It's great
Great
to be
to
with
have
you
you.
guys.
Those that are coming in, just know when you go to the Austin Record Convention in May, their stand is pretty much right there as you come in. So definitely.
I thought it was the best of the whole convention. Like, we just made a killing there. And we kept
Absolutely.
going back to West day after day, hour after hour, and his prices got better as the show went on.
Yeah, well, you guys get the best deals. You know that.
Awesome.
Yeah, come check
They
us out.
got
Look
good
for the
for,
Dick
they
Frank
got
Zappa
good for
hat.
Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard that story.
Scott got lucky on that one.
Well, it was Wes that hooked me up, and I
He
don't-
did it because you were the first. We were the first ones in.
Yeah.
Scott was the first purchase I brought. I'm like, come with me, come over here. These guys love them. I've got great stuff. And I mean, Scott had probably 25 records, just boom, 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 boom.
Hey,
Deal. First buy.
I'll always hook the homies up, you know.
Awesome. So this is the part where I ask you some real tough probing questions.
Oh no.
The first one is always the controversial. Do you keep your vinyl in the shrink or do you remove it from the shrink?
I am a big time shrink wrap and hype sticker guy.
All right.
And if I can't salvage the shrink, I'll even meticulously peel off, just like I've done on one of my records. You'll see, I'll put it right on the cover. I don't care. Got to save the hype sticker.
There you go.
yeah, I saved the
Yeah.
hype sticker too. No shrink, but hype saved.
So you'll
Now, that
keep,
said-
you'll keep that.
There's people that will take the hype sticker off and then put it on the outer sleeve, but then sometimes the sleeve rips. You got to get rid of that. Then your sticker's for sure gone. So I
Yeah.
put it right on the cover.
Oh,
All right. Yeah, I think I like in the shrink with the hype on it. That's kind of my thing. Unless it looks like the shrink is shrinking, but
but not sealed.
Yeah.
not sealed. I've learned that you don't keep sealed too long, especially in this new day and age of I've gotten so many new records.
Froze on us.
Well,
He'll come back.
I'm
There it
I'm
is.
kind of
You are
locked in
here.
here. And I'll wait like 3 months and I'll open the record and then it's damaged. I've had so many new records that damaged that I kind of open them right away now. I'm not
Yeah.
a big fan of keeping things sealed forever. Not a huge fan of that. Let's see. Next question. If you could see, it's a two-parter. If you could see any artist, who would it be? First alive, and then also no longer with us.
first alive. Who haven't I seen that I need to? Oh God. Everyone I'm thinking of is already passed,
Now,
unfortunately.
Carrot Top does not count. He's a comedian.
No, I would love to see Carrot Top, though. I have not seen him. Oh man, I'm not doing good at this question. Well, let's start on the opposite end. If I could bring back anyone, I think Led Zeppelin for sure. I think that'd have to be number one.
Well, that'd be cool. Yeah.
But as far as I haven't seen, maybe honestly, maybe the Backstreet Boys. Because I just saw them at the Sphere, or videos of them at the Sphere, and I never saw them, but they're still around kicking. I think it'd be cool to see the Backstreet Boys.
I would never picture that being your answer. I don't know if anyone else in here.
That was a
would've
little
thought-
off
No,
the
that was a
cuff.
surprise.
I mean, I go to shows like constantly, like multiple a week. So I've seen most bands that I can that are still around. Not many I haven't that, you know.
Now, do you like small venue unknown bands more? It's like
I can't.
that seem to be more fun.
Yeah, I kind of tend to lean that way versus the whole arena thing.
Yeah, because the cost and also the convenience and
The cost, you get to be up close. You're part of the show. You're in there.
they might be the next. Who knows? They might be the next big thing.
That too, yeah.
I always tell people go see local music. There's so many great musicians that they're this far from making it big, and will they ever make that extra? You just go and listen, enjoy.
Yeah, it's that push over the hill that you really need.
It's that luck that you don't know when it's going to happen. You guys have any questions for Wes here?
Yes, I always love this question. I got a question for you, Mr. Wet Cement.
All right, Gonzo.
That question, brother, is what was the first album you bought, whether it be cassette tape, CD, 8-track, wax? What was it?
I know exactly what it was. Okay, so I was 7 years old, maybe later in my sixes. No, I was 6 when this first event happened. So my aunt took us to a comic book store, and I found an action figure of Ace Frehley with the guitar, with the cape. Blew my freaking mind. So I brought this action figure home. My dad goes, "Oh, that's one of the guys from Kiss." And I'm like, I'm 6. I'm like, Kiss? What the heck is Kiss?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we'll get you a CD. So the next day, we went to Best Buy, and I got the very best of Kiss.
Okay.
So that specific greatest hits record, and that was my first CD. I still have it somewhere. It's all cracked apart, but that was my first CD.
Now the other question is, what was the one CD that you just couldn't wait to get, man? I mean, just anticipating its release. It comes out, you grab it, and it was just complete crap, and you were like,
Oh, man. Well, this is a good one because I just picked it up. There's a pop punk band called Set Your Goals, and their first 2 records are absolutely great, and then their third record I was so excited for, and it came out and it was just absolute trash. But luckily, I found it yesterday at a shop. It was surprisingly on the wall, and I was like, oh my God, it's the worst Set Your Goals record that I don't have.
So again, that's kind of like as we say, the Fairweather Johnson.
Yeah.
Or or you could say Pinkerton. Sometimes those sophomore efforts or those third records can be pretty bad. Very nice.
So for some reason our chats are not showing up in the YouTube
technical difficulties.
Yeah, the people's video's not, the chat is not showing up on the YouTube channel. We're just gonna have to kind of go with it, guys, unfortunately. But if you want to chat, you can go over to the Discord channel and type in the general chat, and I can monitor that and provide it on the show, guys, if you want to get involved. All right, so I got people in there in the chat now. Thank you, guys. So if you guys, again, go to the Discord link is there. You can sign up there and click the hashtag general, and you can type in that, and I can see your chat, and I can convey it over to the live stream, guys. I apologize for that, but I don't think there's anything we can do while we're live. All right, so let's see. I think I asked all my questions. Do you have any questions for us? You can interrogate us back if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Jake, did you find that couch record?
Oh, gosh. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and talk about it. Cat's out of the bag. Might as well. There we go. So this is one of my essential records, an album that, go ahead and pop it up one more time, Sean. Let everybody see this. Anybody that has a record collection has this album. I think we can all agree, and you probably have more than one copy because the first one you got, you played it so much, it just, you beat it up. I had 4, and then also my one step, so 5. I sold all of them. I don't have one in my collection anymore. So that's very frustrating. When you're like, yeah, I got it, and then you look everywhere. I mean, I went through 1,400 records in about 30 minutes, and I probably could go dig somewhere else, but where I would dig, it's not going to be there. I would have had it up here. So yeah, I need to go get another couch. So I think I'm going to go get a MoFi.
All right, so that's what I'm going to ask a question for all you in the chat. Since, is there a record you've sold that you've regretted?
Yes,
That's for all of you.
I'll start. Mine was
Crosby, Stills, and Nash, the couch. One step.
Yes. That one I should have kept, but the one that I think I really kind of regretted that I know I wasn't going to see it again. It was a very proud find. Was Bob Seger's back in '72 white label promo. I should have kept it because I'll never see it again. And I think I who I sold it to, he's a buddy of mine. So he got a heck of a deal on it, but it's just one of those, like, right when I let it go, it was like, I don't think I'm gonna see that again.
Mine was Baby Metal.
Baby Metal.
So
The
Sean,
signed copy, which I got another one. I have another one coming. Yes.
okay, I was gonna tell you, there's one at my record store that I came across today.
Is it the signed one?
I don't know if it was signed. Maybe.
It's what the hell? It's a Urban Outfitters exclusive, not an the Hot Topic exclusive that had the signed insert. Wes, anything that you've regretted selling?
Yeah, I found a copy of Kiss Alive 2, original with the tattoos, perfect inner sleeves, no splits, the merchandise insert form, and I gave the guy like $20 for it on OfferUp, and not until I got it home did I realize it was a promo pressing. And I just immediately listed it, I think for like $300. It sold right away, and the second it sold, I was like
no.
Should have hung on to that one.
Scott, what about you? Anything that you've sold that you regret?
I don't think I do. I tend not to give up stuff that I just really feel like I want to have. I did give up to actually Terry my copy of Blue Moon Swamp, the Fogerty record, because he was really, really wanting. He asked me like 4 shows in a row. So I was like, I've got that thing on the shelf. I'll sell it to him. He really wants it, probably more than I wanted it. So, but I don't really regret it. But no, I don't tend to get rid of. I until I do on Whatnot, I will say this: I have never sold a CD. I have 6,000 CDs. I've never sold one. So
I heard Jake's buying.
Yeah, I got a stack right there. He's got like 12 in the stack.
He's working a stack for me, and then I've got a CD show that's going to be coming up soon. I got about 400 CDs I'm going to offload.
Chat's
but he's got 6,000. I mean, that's crazy.
So the chat is back, guys. If you're, I think Scott did something to fix it, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know if it was.
I love
Pinkerton,
by the way. Yeah. Pinkerton I love, but the reason why I'd made the comment on Pinkerton is so many people just panned it. I loved it.
Yeah. All right. So now that we're back up and running, guys, this is this time to show our new arrivals, and we always start with our guests. Wes, anything new this week?
The only thing new I don't have with me, as I'm not reporting from home, is the Black Puma's most recent record, Chronicles of a Diamond. And it's just the standard clear pressing, but it was signed, so.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
So nice little bonus.
Really love I love the whole neo soul sound anyway, when they go old school. So Black Pumas is in there with my Leon Bridges and artists like that. I love that. Yola.
I really liked their first record, and the second one didn't quite do it as much for me, but
yeah,
it's still a must-have, and it was signed, so
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go next. One of my records I don't have it here today, but was Ryan Adams live at Carnegie Hall? It's like a sampler. It's 10 songs. Thing sounds amazing. I got that, and then I also got it just like Jake.
There you go.
This is Jeff Buckley live at Cine.
That's how I've always said it.
Where is Cine at? Is that France?
New York.
Oh,
I believe.
Okay.
And then the record store day has the Olympia live at Olympia, and hopefully I haven't ordered it yet, but I know that I was listening to it streaming and it's got a lot of noise, so I'm hoping that the record is toned down. Also, Counting Crows.
I still have to get one. I've got an original, but I never want to play it. I need to get one of them.
That's my second favorite Counting Crows record.
I picked up 2 of these, one for me, one for you guys. In excess. This has got Suicide Blonde on it. This was right after Kicks, right? I think it was.
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, look at this bad boy. This is a 3 LP, 4 LP tribute to BB King as my screen moves all over the place. It's like I'm on a boat. Toughest Jimmy Buffett record to find. So if anyone's looking for one, I have one right here. Great prison album. If you need a prison album, you get this one and
It's good if you're in prison.
and Johnny Cash. I don't know how you get it, how you play it, but get this and Johnny Cash, you're good to go. I got myself some Aretha.
Oh,
God,
yeah.
that camera just
That's a good record. That I had like an old school press of that Aretha record. I was shocked how good that sounded.
I
This-
know, Tucker. Ugh.
This one I got from Stacy from my wife. We're only missing Reputation now, but we don't have Taylor's, and we have whatever.
Will. Best I can do is 3. That's all I got.
So yeah, that's what I got this week. Jake, what do you got for us?
Not a lot this week. Work was busy.
That's
Good
good.
week.
That's a good
The
thing.
one thing I did get. Let's see.
And
I think a lot of you know that I love me some Nielsen.
yeah,
and one record that I mean, it was panned when it came out. Like, it did not get great reviews, but I love it. It's just got so much feeling, man. It's definitely one of those albums that if you're feeling blue, put it on because you're gonna feel it. And that's
You're gonna feel blue or happy.
Lay into
Nielsen
it.
Sings Newman. So this is like, I think, a 2024 reissue, but it has one of my favorite Nielsen songs, which, I mean, you know, and these are all obviously songs that Randy Newman wrote. He played the piano on it, which is Living Without You, I'll Be Home also as well. Those are 2 big songs that I love. And then the songs at Vine Street and Caroline are like the 2 hits, but I don't think they're the 2 best ones. I think the 2 that I mentioned are probably the best ones in this record. So I just wanted to get a newer reissue because the one I had is just beat to crap. So that was, I think, like the one grab I got.
Is that the Nielsen twins?
Well, Jake, if you want, is that not opened yet?
It is.
Oh, well, I was going to say, if you want to sell that, I just got the Japanese press of that.
We could trade.
It'll okay. We'll talk, or it could be available Saturday morning on the best weekend morning stream on Whatnot.
On Saturdays, that is.
Hate that show. Shanae Irish for that set. Thank you, Jeremy. See, I think the bulk.
Sinead.
This goes back to the Rick Ocasek.
No, you're
Sinead.
wrong.
Shanae.
Sinead O'Connor.
Shanae. So
Sinead.
Scott, what did you get this week?
Okay, I just picked up before Joe even put it on the list. I went ahead and picked this up because I know it's going to be on the list when Joe comes back. This is Muddy Waters, folk singer. This is Japanese press without the obi. That's why I picked it up. I said, I'll take it.
No Obi?
I mean,
No,
the
Obi.
Opie's just
It's a
I
price-
shouldn't
it's a
say
price
this with
tag, right?
some of my followers in here. Occasionally, I do buy a record without an obi.
Unbelievable.
It's okay.
because
it's the
sometimes
record that plays.
and sometimes it's a CD. So
Yeah.
all right. So that was our new arrivals for this week. If guys put in the chat if anything you got new this week, put it in the chat. We'd love to hear what you got this week. All right, so now we're at the next phase of the show. It's pronounced dumbass. The baby is silent. So this is the part where we present the essentials for the week, and we always start with the guest. We punish them first.
Oh, geez.
So we'll see what they brought with us today.
All right. I think I'm going to start out with Van Halen's For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. And let me get my notes here. This is later in the catalog. This is later Van Hagar. Oh, this thing printed out all over the place. I've got it here. Hold on. On the last page here. So when did this come out? This was, I believe, 91, if I'm June 18th,
correct.
1991. So I was not born until 1994, but some of my earliest memories are my dad playing this in the car so loud that I thought my head was actually going to explode. So this record has just been, I've probably listened to this record more than anything else ever. Now for me, this is peak Hagar. This is peak Eddie. This is peak Van Halen. You know, no shade towards David Lee Roth, but I think this is a must-have, an essential for the 500 records.
Well, I mean, I would agree. I was born when that came out, but actually, I was over in Europe, and I might be one of those few people that actually like both versions of Van Halen about equally. You know, they're different. They definitely are different. You know, I don't put them together on a playlist. They're separate Eddie and separate Sammy Van Halen playlist. But, you know, Pound Cake on that, great song.
The drill on the guitar. I mean,
yeah. And
Eddie was doing stuff on here that was just unbelievable.
And I heard that, you know, they actually, Eddie or Alex wanted to leave Top of the World off of the record, and that's why it's the last on the record. Sammy had to fight for it. I was like, that is my favorite song on the record, is Top of the World.
Yeah, it arguably is.
And Dream, no, what's the name of the song?
Dream is Over.
Dream is Over. There's another, what was the, Right Now. That was huge.
Yeah, with the Eddie on piano doing the keyboard intro.
Yeah.
This record is a big reason I got into playing guitar, and 25 years later, I still can barely play any of the riffs on here that I've set out to learn. That's just how great Eddie was on this record. He's making that guitar sing like no one else ever has or could.
Yeah, it's a really solid record. You know, I think a lot of those Hagar records were actually pretty good, except for not a big fan of Balance. You know, I thought that was pretty weak, but
that was a weaker one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sammy's just my guy. I mean, no shade to David, but yeah, I know I'm too young to be talking about Van Halen for sure, but this is an important one. And
he wasn't even born in 1984.
No, I wasn't.
Well, Tucker is our resident curmudgeon, so
bring it on.
His job is to bang on all of us.
Yeah, we have professional hecklers, but we enjoy them. They're it's all in good spirit.
All we say is bring it, Tucker.
All right, so I think I'm gonna go next if nothing else on that one.
Yeah.
So my first album of the week is from a band we've seen before. This is their first album. This is you know, the last time I showed one of these albums, it was Steely Dan's Asia, where they made the record perfect and then they made it a step above perfect. This is their first record that they released, and it's Can't Buy a Thrill.
One of my faves.
And a lot of people, and I don't know, I think Steely Dan Asia is amazing. Some people say they like this one better. And I can understand there are some great songs on here, like Do It Again, Dirty Work, Reelin' in the Years. I mean, there's so many great songs on this. This is when they were kind of technically really a band still, right? It was by Asia, it was just them two, and And also, I was showing the back of the record, and Scott's like, "What the hell happened to it?"
You stained it.
And I said I ate some French fries on the back, but that's actually the way the cover looks. So maybe you can get a discount and go record store. Go, can you mark this down? It's got oil stains all over the back, and maybe you'll get it for a lower
It does
price.
look like a French fry bag.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But this is our first presentation of Steely Dan in our world. Came out in 1972. I wasn't even born when this came out.
Wow.
See?
But Scott was.
I was.
Yes, he was. Scott was born 30 years before that album.
So it didn't get a lot of awards. It did peak in the top 20 in the Billboard. And the singles "Do It Again," "Real in the Years" both reached the top 20.
Great songs.
I mean, again, it's don't call it yacht rock, and it's a masterpiece. My favorite is still Asia, but you can't have that without this.
Well, that's what I love about Can't Buy a Thrill. You know, like everybody talks about Asia and the fact that it's obviously like their masterpiece and the man hours put into it and the musicians used to produce. Like it is. But the Steely Dan, I love that Steely Dan before they really went more just towards the kind of jazz route per se. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Love it.
I mean, since we're laying our souls open bare here on Steely Dan,
Yes,
that's my favorite Steely Dan record too.
that's mine as well.
So
I love them both equally.
they're like kids, Sean, right?
Just think. I mean, it's great. It's a little different than Asia was. There was just them in the studio and really just going through musicians one after the other, try to get that perfect sound. Where at this point, they were still more of a band. At that point, I mean, obviously Becker and Fagan were huge in the driving force, but they were more of a band at that point. But again, masterpiece. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. This record is the album that actually got me into this particular artist. Now, I'd heard songs from him on the radio prior to, but this kind of is what got me into him because it was completely different. It was a total, and that would be Gonzo Shenanigans floating in a pool, chasing a dollar bill.
That's him in the
That
hot
thing
tub.
away.
That's him in the hot tub.
So there was one album that came out after this that that Joe talked about, and that album was a Muddy Waters record called After the Rain. The album prior is the one that I'm mentioning, which is Electric Mud. What I love about this record is that this is completely, it's a blues record, but really at the end of the day, to me, it's more psychedelic blues. It's like a blues fusion, if you will. And I think what they did is they wanted to kind of go in and reinvent a lot of Muddy Waters songs. And when the record came out, mixed reviews. Like there were a lot of people that were like, what the heck is this? Didn't like it. Muddy Waters also was very critical of it. Didn't like it at all either, which is why they went back and did it the way he wanted. Hence, After the Rain, that came out in 1969. I think they got it to kind of where they wanted it to be. But some of the songs that I loved, I Just Want to Make Love to You is one. There's one song on here called She's All Right. If you listen to the Black Keys, this album, I swear the Black Keys listen to this thing nonstop because there are songs that they do that sound just like any song off of Electric Mud. Like you could definitely feel the influence on the record. But it's got an earlier version of Mannish Boy, which everybody knows Mannish Boy from his album It's Hard, or Hard Again, I think. Right. That's the one that we all know. But this was a different take again, and that's what I love about the record. It's just got different takes of a lot of his classics, and it's just more psychedelic, of the times. So I love records. I love artists that go out and take a chance and do something a little bit different, spice up the pot a little bit. And even though a lot of people criticized it, ragged on it, he wasn't too fond of it. I say to Muddy, I don't care. I think the damn thing's a masterpiece, and thank you for putting it out. It's a record I think that we should all kind of give a listen to. Didn't really have any major awards or anything along those lines. It probably at best maybe went gold. It wasn't a huge selling record, but this definitely was a departure from a lot of his earlier albums. So
It's such a great album.
Electric Mud.
And you see him out there, but it's very rare that you find him with the booklet. And also, I've noticed, I put it up there on the screen right now. There's Electric Mud, and I'm thinking it's the same thing. But right now, if you're going to buy one, I think that's the cover it looks like right now.
Well, that's kind of cheesy compared. I like the black. Just
Yeah.
Jake, I got a question for you. I'm a vinyl geek out here. What press is that you're holding up? Is that a new press?
This is a special gatefold edition. There are only 1,200 of these pressed. This is a newer repress. I do have an original, and you know who I got that original from? I got that original copy from Mr. Glenn and Wet Cement, and the Austin Convention saw it and just was like, finally, because I sold my original years ago, couldn't find one, and Wes and them had it.
Yeah, so, and that copy you got from me, didn't you?
I got this copy from you, yes. Yeah. Because I couldn't find an original anywhere.
I didn't really know that record, and I had some records on consignment from somebody, and the OG was in there, and so I cleaned it and played it. It blew me away. I was like, this is a great record.
It really is. I want to go back now that we've presented Electric Mud and After the Rain. I want to go back and really give After the Rain a listen again and kind of do a shootout between the two, because Joe, he just went in so much depth on it. I wish he was kind of here tonight to kind of, give his 2 cents, because I know he likes this album as well.
Yeah, I have both, and I mean, I don't have Electric Mud, but I had it. But I did buy the one Joe recommended, the new audiophile press of that off of the Analog Productions. I think it's doing them. I still like Electric Mud. The sound of it blew me away.
I mean, it's just that, you got that fuzz bass. There's so much fuzz on that record, man.
Yeah,
but nothing tops Return of Gonzo. Nothing. Multiple Gonzos, might I say.
You had stickers made?
Yeah,
I did.
Already like that.
Anyone who comes in and does a purchase gets one.
So I'm pretty sure that Electric Mud I put up there in the picture right now, you can pick it up for like $25.
Yeah,
that's a deal.
I mean, it's not the original cover, but again, it's about the music. Give it a listen. I think you'll love this album. I really do.
You'll dig it. If you don't have it, brother, seriously. There it is. Get it, grab it.
I get Electric Mud when I drink too many cups of coffee in the morning.
Will's always the comedian. He's got the
that's a good one.
He's got the snark.
Quick to the punch, man.
All right, so Scott, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm not going to make, because I know they're in chat, not going to make them wait for this. I know everybody saw the thumbnail. It's not the top 5 ELO tonight. It is the top 5 AC/DC. But I will get to the ELO. But I decided, you know what? I looked at the list. There's not an ELO record on the Essential 500. Well, by God, we're going to change that tonight. We're going to put ELO New World Record on the Essential 500. So this one, is kind of special. You could argue about which one's their best one, but I have a personal connection to this because when I really started paying attention to music was probably around 6th grade. And I'm telling you, in 1976, the Doobie Brothers and the ELO, they were the bomb. They were the two groups that were just dominating. You heard And the thing with the ELO, I mean, what a novel idea. Let's put orchestration to a rock band. I'm like, that's strange. The other thing I will say about ELO as I'm older now is I realize how great all their records sound. They were all recorded very well. And I mean, this album, I'm not sure what the first single was, but I want to say it was Telephone Line, because I remember hearing that one first on the radio with that funny effect. Like I think they recorded it talking on the telephone. So old school telephones had a funny sound to them. They weren't audiophile like our current mobile phones are. But the song that just blew up this record was Living Thing. That song was everywhere. To this day, it's still played on a lot of the classic rock radios. But another reason that I picked this record was every time I pick up an ELO comp, I get pissed off. Because what? Dooya is not on the comp. And I don't know if Jeff Lynne hated the song, but I love it. I was like, well,
I love that song.
I do too. I mean, I think it's the most rock song they did until they did Don't Bring Me Down.
Yeah.
With Don't Bring Me Down, you think about it, there was the beginning of that Traveling Wilbury sound. Don't Bring Me Down. You can hear it in that song, the evolution of Jeff Lynne.
It's the Jeff Lynne sound, man.
Yeah.
It's Jeff Lynne for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And
I mean, it is. You hear it all over the place.
Thomas says, super, they're starting to get it right. Well, we got it. At least we made you happy for one night. We're going to put the first ELO record in the 500. It's well-deserved. It is a great record. I was listening to it this week, and I said, really stands the test of time. You would think a rock record with orchestration on it, yeah, that was probably cheesy. No, these songs are still fun to listen to today. And it has Dooya on it, damn it.
I think it's kind of spacey. That's kind of what I like about it.
It is. Ace Frehley did a cover of Dooya that totally rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've heard that. That was good.
Yeah.
At least somebody, Jeff Lynne might not like it, but at least Ace liked it.
No,
so.
At least Ace knew it was good.
Yeah.
What about you, Shaq?
What about me? I've already done mine. We're back to Wes.
It's my turn.
I went out of order today.
Yeah, Sean always goes last, but not tonight.
He does. I'm used to him going last.
All right. I'm going with the Dead Weather's debut, Horehound, from 2009. So for those who are not familiar with the Dead Weather, you have Jack White on drums. He does singing a little bit, but he's on drums. Alison Mosshart from The Kills on the vocals. Jack Lawrence from the Greenhorns on bass. And then Dean Fertitta from Queens of the Stone Age on guitar. And this is just a dark, dirty, gritty, hard, heavy blues record. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but the Dead Weather, like, that's what it sounds like. Like, it sounds like a storm is coming. And, like, this is the soundtrack playing while a tornado is, like, ripping across a field. And my actual introduction to this record was in 2009, back when everyone had their iPods and stuff. iTunes did a single of the week that was free, and they did this one, which the A side is Hang You From the Heavens, but the B side is a cover of Gary Newman's Our Friends Electric. And that cover, that is worth looking up. That is one of my all-time favorite songs. I have like 8 copies of this single now. But I think for the albums list, you got to go with their debut. It's just
How many records have they done?
They've only done 3.
Okay.
And to prove how much I love this band, with 3 records, I have 38 items of theirs in my Discogs collection between singles and different pressings. So I really like the Dead Weather.
Do they tour the records too?
They toured the first 2, and then when they put out the 3rd record, they kind of went on indefinite hiatus. Now, I saw the Kills not long ago, and I asked Allison, I was like, is there going to be another Dead Weather record? And she said, I don't know. It's up to Jack.
Yeah, I was not familiar with this band. I somehow missed it. Now, I do have a couple Kills CDs, and I do like that. And so I'm going to have to check it out for sure.
Yeah, Allison just has a different beast in her on this record. I mean, she's just got this dark, sexy kind of I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's worth looking up, but it sounds like it looks. Like this cover, it makes you feel like this. Little uneasy, little dead weathery. And Jack White's playing drums. It's really cool. So it's kind of like got that White Stripes kind of loose feel to it.
That was Meg White's instructor, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He taught her to play drums, and then it was cool to see him kind of step back and do drums for this. And he does sing a little bit, which is cool.
Absolutely.
So it's music. It's like a storm coming. That's kind of.
It's just like real fuzzy, dirty, dark blues. Like one of the variants of not this record, but another one is called Inclement Weather, and I was like, oh, that's the perfect description of their music. It's inclement weather is coming.
Which appropriate for me today. We had at work a tornado fire drill basically for a tornado today, so that kind of fits.
You could have been listening to this, and it would have fit perfect.
So I got that going for me,
which is
nice.
Now, not everybody, not all of our audience has an open mind. Tucker, now you can't criticize you because you say whatever this is, obviously you're unaware. So if you go listen to it and you think it's crap, then that's a different thing. But what I like about it is we bring people with different backgrounds and intentionally on the show, because if we're building out like a 500 album sampler, right? Like, yeah, we can give you 500 albums that might not have a ton of variety, but when other people come on, like when Joe comes on and does the blues, or Wes, I knew he would bring a little different bit. Having talked to him, I know he has some stuff. I'm excited now. I have not listened to this record, but I'm always open mind. Somebody lay a record on me I didn't know about that I love. Jake did that a couple of weeks ago with a record that Phoenix, whatever it's called.
Scott was all about it.
I'm like, man, that thing is good.
Dude, Tucker, you have to understand something. After the Return of the Rentals, see, that was a record I had you listen to. You gave it a go and you loved it. Scott hated it.
Oh, it's freaking Junior Weezer crap.
So much to the point where I was like, listen, I've got an album that is awesome. He's like, nope, you kind of wasted that with
I thought he didn't have any credibility.
Dude, I was like, listen, Scott, seriously, please trust me. Listen to Phoenix, Wolfgang, Amadeus, Phoenix. He came back, loved it.
Yeah.
And Tucker loved Return of the Rentals. So that's kind of what I love about bringing some of the new things.
Yeah.
It was hard to pick just three. I mean, because I could have came at you with some really obscure stuff that no one would know, but I think especially this one, this is worth hearing at least once, and I think it deserves a spot in the 500. It's not just, hopefully not just, my favorite.
Yeah, well, okay, good choice. I can't wait to, I was hoping to have time today to listen to it. I just ran out of time, but I will give it a listen. I'll report back to you, Wes.
Cool. I'd love,
not
love
that you
to hear
care what I think, but I will let you know what I think.
Do. I would love to know what you think.
Scott, please feel free to read Terry's comment. Out loud, please.
Jake did that for me with Oasis. Yeah.
Yes!
So you should be open to everybody, even Jake.
And again, guys, this whole 500 is not saying you have to like it. It's you really need to give this a listen and then judge.
That's it. Yeah.
Because there's stuff like oh, I'm not gonna like that, but then all of a sudden, wow, this is awesome. Again, we don't know, and that's the whole point of this list. Is now I have two things I gotta listen to now.
Hold up though,
Tucker, I want to listen to.
Tucker also bought a jazz record from Rush. What is Tucker never? No jazz.
Yeah.
He bought a jazz record.
Of course, then his body fell apart after he thinks he's been cursed by the jazz.
Yeah, he does think he's cursed by that jazz record. But I will say, Tucker, this falls under the giving as good as you take. You give pretty good. You got to take it. We're just poking at you. We're having some fun. We love our resident curmudgeon.
Yeah, we do. All right, so I guess I'm up next. And it's appropriate, I guess, since I did the top 5 Elton John songs. So now we're going to put another one into the 500. This one, I think everyone was upset because I don't think I had this in the top 2 or 3, and people thought I was nuts. But my record selection for today is Honky Chateau,
Great selection.
which
Love that record.
we're gonna put it up because I don't have it in front of me. We have it there. This was, oh god, I got it mixed up again. This came out in 1972, 45 minutes long. It has Honky Cat, love that song. Mellow. I think I'm going to kill myself. I actually really like that song, even though it sounds dark, but it's kind of more of mocking the way kids are. If I don't get my way, I'm gonna. Susie, Rocket Man, of course. What's Elton John without Rocket Man? Hercules, another great one. Mona Lisa's and Mad Hatters, which he didn't sing at my show. I really would have liked to hear that. It appeared in the top 10, in the Billboard 200. The singles Rocket Man, top 10. Honky Cat was in the top 10, top 20. Again, it's got a mixed rock, country, R&B, and that New Orleans funk influence that I love so much is in this album a little bit. And of course, Rocket Man. Without this, you don't get to see Shatner do a version of Rocket Man.
Greatest cover of all time.
Or Family Guy, because they did the spoof with of Shatner doing, but it was Stu doing Rocket Man. If you've never seen Shatner do the Rocket Man, just Google it. I may even put it in the Discord. So that's the wrong one. It's right there. That's my pick for the week.
Good pick. Good record.
I like it.
It's an amazing record. And again, with my top 5 that I did, almost every one of them could have been the number 1. So keep that in mind. So don't all the hate mail I've been getting and death threats from not picking Honky Chateau as number 1.
This might be the oldest album I think that I have brought up. I don't think anything. This album came out May 27th, 1963. Runtime of 51 minutes, 20 seconds. At least the U.S. track list does, with 13 songs. And that album is Mitch Miller. I don't have it with me. It is the Mitch Miller TV sing-along. Mitch Miller and the Gang. Lovely hits like Shark, yeah. Who can remember that hit?
With the lyric sheet inside.
This, in my opinion, I think everybody is going to think that once this man went electric, that's really what did it. But the record that really changed the way people, artists, as Shark would say, were writing music and thinking about music is the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, which came out May 27th, 1963. This was the first album of Bob's that he actually had a lot of his own material. His first album, mainly for the most part, were covers, songs of the day when they recorded that. And it was not a big seller. Think about Bob Dylan records too, right? And it's funny, I knew this, but even Billy Joel talks about it in his documentary. Why Billy Joel wanted to go to Columbia Records is because Bob Dylan's at Columbia Records. And even though Bob Dylan didn't sell a ton of records, like it wasn't like he was selling 7 million, records every time an album came out, but he was consistent and he was selling. And, I mean, that's how consistent, right? His albums were. But this has got some amazing hits, man. Some stuff that he wrote himself, Blowing in the Wind, Masters of War, Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. One of my favorite Bob Dylan songs is Girl from the North Country, which again, he has covers on here. Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. Bob Dylan's Dream, Oxford Town, Talking World War III Blues, Corina, Honey, Just Allow Me One More Chance. This record was the album that really influenced the heck out of the Beatles and a lot of other artists. This is what got it started, right? This is what started changing the way that musicians really wrote songs. The Beatles, I think, really slowly started making, that shift right around 1965, right within a couple of years. But he had a lot to do with that. I think this probably sold. I think I don't have an exact number on sales. They do have it as multi-platinum. I think they said maybe several million total over time sold. As far as some of the accolades, if you will, it rose steadily, became his first high chart studio LP. It peaked at top 30, which again, his debut album, self-titled, did not do well at all. But it is still widely acclaimed then when it came out, and to this day now, people are still buying the album because of its importance. No Grammys, again, didn't win any big honors, but it did cement his role pretty much as a folk writer, or as they used to say he was a protest. His songs were protest songs. Y'all could get in this if you wanted to or not. I never viewed his songs per se as protest songs. I don't even know if he really thought of himself as a protest singer. I think he just got tired of constantly being labeled that and interviewed. He just like, the hell with it. Yeah, all my songs are protest songs. But I never viewed it that way.
I think I completely understand what he was probably trying to say. They're just his personal commentary. Like,
yeah,
this is what I see going on. And I think all good artists, that's what they do. They bring something out of themselves and write a song that kind of summarizes that to the world. So
right.
How many artists completely do that? Get that when he says that,
Yeah. How many artists do that? I mean, think of the Benefit from Mr. Kite, right? I mean, it's on Pepper. He got that off of, a poster that he had, right? People just writing songs about, current events, things they read in a book, things they see on the TV. You nailed it. He was writing about, issues of the time. Is that necessarily a protest song? I don't think so. I think it's just being observant.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good artists have done that over the years. I mean, even later in the 80s, Mellencamp had some songs that really were steeped in social commentary, not political, but, he was kind of for the plight of the average working man and all that. So, yeah. I wish people wouldn't get so steamed up. I don't really care whether it's coming from one side or the other. It's just a song, I mean, if you don't like the song, don't play it,
One of the best albums of all time. We're looking at it.
And this got an RSD release last year. And it had, because when it first came out, there was four songs?
A few songs that weren't.
And then they removed them pretty quickly thereof.
Right.
So the RSD that came out last year has those songs included. And you can still get that record for like $24. The new RSD reissue with those lost tracks. So, and I got one. I picked one up for myself, but check it out. I know you can go to RSD Marketplace and get it for $23.99 plus shipping. So,
like, don't get me wrong. I love Highway 61 Revisited. I love Bringing It All Back Home. But, first time I heard Freewheelin, I don't know. I got it, I guess.
What Blown in the Wind is what the first song, right?
And I just think, I think that I think a lot of people think more of when he went electric, because I think when he went electric, it created more of an effect. It created a huge effect. There were some people that couldn't take it. And I think, once again, I just think that's, y'all remember earlier episodes when I talked about Bob Dylan, the one thing I said about Bob Dylan is, guys, Bob Dylan was punk rock before punk rock. He did things not caring what the masses thought. Going electric, he didn't care. He didn't care if his fan base was going to lose. He did things outside the norm, and against what everybody else was doing. Even the way he sang, not the greatest voice, but he didn't care.
He doesn't like to enunciate. I understand that, but again, give him a chance, and maybe if this isn't the album, maybe it's the greatest hits. and get there, because I know a lot of it's a stigma. It's one of those things where, oh man, so I'm never gonna. Oh, he's awful.
But you don't have that with his self-titled. You don't have
Earlier
it with
stuff,
Freewheelin. His
right.
earlier folk stuff. You don't have that.
Or Nashville Skyline, he sings in just regular voice the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yes, he does. Right. So you get a lot of that. You hear a lot of that, like Blonde on Blonde. Like once he really started, hitting the drugs a little bit harder. That's when the nasals, he became a little bit more nasally, and some of the stuff he changed up in the 70s as well. But some of those records are still great.
Yeah, so give him a chance, guys. Again, you can stream it at no cost. Give it a chance, or pick up that RSD one. I think you will enjoy that. All right,
I do have more than a dozen gray hairs, just to clarify.
Maybe 4. All right, Scott, you're up next.
Okay, so you guys know I usually like to have a wild card. Sometimes that's a country record or something. Tonight, my wild card is just it's one of those ones. I haven't got Jake hooked on this record, but I think I will. I'll send him the free CD, so I'll get him hooked on it. But I like to find these records that just they don't get their due as far as longevity goes. Like nobody talks about them anymore, but they were solid. You can go back to, we always talk about the Hooters Nervous Night, how good a record that is, or other records like Rod Stewart, Out of Order. Yeah, Rod Stewart made a bunch of kind of like Midland records, but Out of Order is a great record. It's a rock record. So I'm going to bring one of those, and I've got several, but tonight it's going to be this record right here, the Smithereens 11. I think 1988. Is that right? 1989. Another record that came out while I was in Germany. And I was already, Smithereens were on my radar because I loved, on the 2 previous records, they had Blood and Roses and Behind a Wall of Sleep. And Behind a Wall of Sleep got a fair amount of radio play, and it's a really good record. So if you're saying, I don't even know who the Smithereens are an interesting sounding band because when you really listen to their songs, I mean, they're classified as alternative rock. I would say, pop alternative rock, or but if you listen to their songs, you'll hear the influences. It's the Beatles, it's Buddy Holly mixed with some rock, it's right. It would be. I mean, it would sound really good right next to what came after grunge. Right, this is kind of a similar sound. Sometimes the Replacements have a sound like this on some of their records. Yeah. But this album has the big hit, which actually got some heavy MTV rotation, was A Girl Like You. Real, got a big hook in it. It's catchy. But the record has that, you can hear that Buddy Holly, you can hear the Beatles on, it's a little bit of Elvis Costello too, I think, influence on some of this. So Cut Flowers, Blue Period, those are kind of slower songs that'll remind you of the Costello maybe. But then they have Blues Before and After Loving You. That's just a killer song. So on here is 7 really good songs. And to me, that elevates an album. If I can get, usually my criteria is give me 5 really good songs, and this record's got 7. So Wes might be able to hook you up, but I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a copy of this, they're not cheap. They're like $25-$30 to find a used decent copy of this record, because I think people in the know, they sold a couple 100,000. Most of them were probably CDs at this time. So I don't know how many of these records were pressed. It's never had a repress. This would be a great candidate for a repress.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've only seen it like twice in the last, handful of years.
Yeah.
In person. So
yeah. So next one comes in store, grab it for yourself and give it a listen.
Yeah, I definitely will keep an eye out.
Great record. And like Jake did for me the other day with the Phoenix Amadeus or whatever it was. I hope I convince a couple people to go out and listen to this. And if you listen, you will love it. Guaranteed.
I've got to see what Smithereens. I've got a Smithereens album. I have to see which one I've got. But I have one. I think they're a great band.
Well, they had Especially for You, and they had Green Thoughts. I actually see those records more than I see this, but this is a 89 record, so they were really cutting
Right.
down on the vinyl pressings
Yep.
then.
Yep.
All right. So now I think we're back to Wes's last
Back
pick.
to me, my last pick.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going. This one's kind of obscure. I don't think many people are going to know this one, but this is the Nationals. I Am Easy to Find. And this came out in May 2013. My introduction to this record was the NPR Tiny Desk concert they did that same year. They did a song called This Is the Last Time. And oh my God, I heard that song. I immediately went and listened to this whole record, and this is a no skip, beautiful love song or love letter of a record. I mean, Matt Berninger, the singer, he kind of has he sings in a real low kind of mumbly register. So that's kind of off-putting for some people, but it's truly beautiful poetry. There's twin brothers on guitars just doing some crazy orchestration. They've worked with, Taylor Swift and other more prominent pop artists that I don't really know, but the brothers, very good. But this is a no skip record. Don't Swallow the Cap, Sea of Love, This Is the Last Time, Graceless, Humiliation, just killer the whole way through.
Yeah, this record pops up on a lot of the top 500 best of lists. You'll see this record on there.
Yeah, a lot of times you see the previous records, Alligator or Boxer, and those are worth checking out too. But this is like, if you're feeling sad and you listen to this, like, you're going to feel better. If you're feeling happy, you're going to feel happier. If you're feeling a little down in the dumps, this is just an anytime great listen. And I recommend everyone to listen to this at least once.
Good pick.
But not your conventional, hard rock, Something I really like is the drummer, Brian Davendorf. He doesn't really do conventional, 4/4 drumming. He does a lot of weird patterns and different things that really make it exciting. Yeah. And it's a great cover. Look at that cover.
So I have 3 records I got to check out.
These are worth it. I hope it's worth your time. I'd like to know what you think of them if you do get to them.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely give them a listen. Because I'm always looking for new things, and we don't know what we don't know till we hear it, right?
Yeah. I think it should be on the list, and I figured a lot of people might not know it, but it deserves a listen.
All right, cool. All right, I think I'm up next.
Yay!
This one was I was so glad I picked this one, just to listen to it. I mean, when I was younger, I never listened to this album. We all knew one song. It got huge play on MTV, and I never listened to it any more than that. And but I was listening to, and I've listened to it a lot lately. But today I'm walking at work and I'm playing the opening track, and it has this drum beat that would be like if you ever watch a movie and like the main characters are walking in slow motion with that beat playing, and that first track I'm talking about is from License to Ill. They used When the Levee Breaks, that drum beat from When the Levee Breaks on Zep 4, which I think is near the end of the song, I think. And it leads off with that, and it just opens up because it's something you're familiar with that sound. Even if you didn't know Beastie Boys, you're like, that's Led Zeppelin. And then it breaks into this of course it's kind of sophomoric because they're young, they're maybe not even in the 20s yet. It's all about beer, women, and music. And if you listen to this album, that's kind of what you get through the whole thing. But here's a band that started off as a punk band. They would open up for like Bad Brains and who else? A bunch of different punks. So they were in the punk scene for a while. And then they started hearing this new hip hop in their playing in some of the places that played in the punk. These new hip hop artists were coming in, and they started listening to and loving hip hop music. And so they kind of formed by them just listening to music and singing along. And they went from punk to, some call it hip hop punk. There's a different phrases they've kind of made up for them, but it's just an amazing. Who thought 3 Jewish guys from Manhattan or Bronx or whatever?
Well, I mean, what is just the right people meeting at the right time? I mean, the world was ready for what they were about to do, and Rick Rubin produced this, right? Yeah, so that's where he got his big break too. But when you hear the story about the making of this record, you understand how much influence Rick Rubin had in guiding them towards the sound that would actually become the Beastie Boys sound.
Yeah, I mean, it's. And the thing is, Rick Rubin, they actually had. I know Jake and a lot of you guys like the guys that do the prank calls, whatever their names are.
Jerky Boys.
The Jerky Boys.
Get Brett where I said.
So what got the Beastie Boys discovered was they had a song that was based on them calling Carvel ice cream and prank calling them, and it's called Cookie Puss. And they evolved that conversation with someone at Carvel and made it into a song, and it's pretty catchy. And that's what Rick Rubin heard and said, hey, I think I need these guys. I need to get these guys. And they signed him. This is again Def Jam Records. Rick Rubin was running his record company out of the dorm room in NYU at that time still. And of course Rick Rubin does have I don't know if it's a habit but he usually puts a lot of him into the records. I think that's probably one of the reasons why this is the only Def Jam Beastie Boy record there is. But again, Fight for the Right for a Party was on MTV non-stop. So that's how white people got into rap, was through that song. I mean, really. But it was just amazing. And they went from punk to that. And you got one of the greatest records of all time. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Beck's Otto, just because it's kind of all over the place. There's no real rhyme or reason. But the sampling, there's so many songs sampled from, I think.
He'll come back.
Shing.
There's so many in this album. If you go into a Discord under the 500 records, I have a little video clip a sound clip, video clip of the original song and how they sampled it. It's a great listen. Take a listen to that thing and you'll be like, wow, that was in there. This was in there. So many great things. So again, you got to have it. So that's my choice for this week.
Nice.
My third, go ahead, Scotty.
Well, I just said, nice pick. That's solid.
And it's such a good listen.
Well deserved.
A true essential
And
record.
anyone know what a brass monkey is?
Oh yeah.
What is it?
Orange juice and a 40.
It's orange juice, vodka, and rum, basically, in equal parts, technically.
Oh, I thought you just took like a Mickey's 40 and just added orange juice.
That's for your way, but it's vodka, orange juice, and rum in equal parts.
Maybe I didn't know.
So that's a brass monkey. They sing about women, booze, and music. That's what this whole album is about.
Well, that's what the 80s were about, Sean.
That's true. That's true.
A funky monkey, that's what it is.
A funky monkey.
Scott, I would like to know, what was it
Brass
like in
monkey.
What was it like in the 1920s?
It was glorious, man. We had the speakeasies. Big government banning alcohol. I mean, that's
Prohibition was just like
we
talk
had
about government overreach. I mean, come on. 100 years ago.
All right. So you done age shaming, Scott?
I age shame him all the time, but gosh, the way my body is, he's younger than I am.
Scott's too old. I'm too young. So
I'm appreciative of your haircuts, guys, because I saw a guy today. He was bald, and in the back, very back, there was this hair patch. And I'm thinking, I want to get a razor and just shave the rest of his head. I just like this. This is awful. I need to.
I would have high-fived that man and said, "Well done on keeping it, man. Well done on keeping the faith on those 2-3 strands of hair, bud. Ride every hair out. Go into the barbershop and be like, I'll go ahead and take a little trim off the back.
Yeah.
A little bit. That's probably what I'm going to do, and I'll do it as a joke.
Well, I think you probably will be take it easy. I'm scared that you cut it, it won't come back.
No, the best is because I've got 3 brow hairs per brow, right? And the best is when I go and get it's like a Donald
He's got a
Trump
comb over. He's comb
It's like
over.
a Trump comb over of eyebrow. I've got one brow that can turn and fold and look like 5 brow hairs. So they'll come in and they'll go, sir, would you like us to, when they're like, yeah, we'll go ahead and do this, do a 1 here on the top, and you can kind of do a half on the sides. And I love it when they go, would you like us to do something with those eyebrows? I'm like, the 3 that I have?
No,
Like,
Don't
yeah,
touch them.
there's 2 of them that are just god awful. One snip, dude. It's like I have none.
What do you say, Jake? You're one of the few men that actually puts product on their eyebrows just to get.
Come to my show on Fridays.
Oh no.
The brows, full effect, bro.
All right. So Jake, what do you have for us this week?
So, so the last record this week is an album that everybody who has a record collection, anyone who has been collecting records, has this album because you got it from your parents, you got it from your dad, your uncle, your cousins, whoever. Everybody has this album. Guess what? I don't. I sold all of them. I should have it. I don't. And that is Crosby, Stills, and Nash, self-titled, or better known as the Couch Record. That came out in May 29th, 1969.
Oh, look at that. We have the acoustic sound.
The Mo-Fi and the
Nautilus
Super
Super
Dave, where's
Disc.
your copy?
I
and the
sold,
Mo-Fi.
dude. If I had my one step, we completed it. But I
I've
sold it.
never
and
seen
I-
that super disc. Never
Yeah,
seen that.
David's got this one in his collection over here.
So, Wes, go ahead.
Nautilus Super Disc.
Go ahead and bend that baby.
Yeah, just run it. Run it, Wes. Run it.
Run it.
$1
Are we
dollar
live?
start.
Do we have the bidding set up?
Bend that bad baby. Okay, so
Hey, we'll be
Um,
live tomorrow after Jake. Maybe I can get David to get rid of this one.
I
Come
doubt
on.
it. He's not a dumb
So-
man.
this album was dominated by Stephen Stills. A lot of people may not realize he did the guitars, he did the organs, he did the bass. Graham Nash and David Crosby did do their own guitars on their records, but what's just so great about this album is the fact that Stephen Stills really is like the mastermind behind it. He is the sound of this record. And when you blend these 3 guys, and Neil Young joined not long after this album came out, because you got to remember this album came out in May of '69. They performed at Woodstock together in August of '69. They'd only been together a few months, and that was probably one of the first shows they did together as a trio. So they really weren't rehearsed when they went out on stage and played it. But some of the songs that we're familiar with, Long Time Gone, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, Helplessly Hoping, and probably my favorite song on the album is Guinevere. Highly underrated song that I think should get more praise than it does, but it's a beautiful song with both David Crosby and Graham Nash singing. And of course, David Crosby's very weird tunings. But the song just it's just so good. It was great in 1969 and it's great in 2026. I will say I'm one of those. Marrakesh Express really was never my favorite song. Never really was the biggest fan of it. But, Scott was talking about, hey, if I can get an album that's got at least 5 songs, right? The whole album is amazing. I mean, this and of course Deja Vu, which Deja Vu originally is what I wanted to do, but we covered it in such an earlier show. But those 2 records are really, in my opinion, the only 2 you need to have. But let's talk about
Daylight Again. Come on now, don't leave.
I like
the
Daylight
last
Again,
good
but
record.
I think Daylight Again is good, but I just think Self-Titled and Deja Vu, they're on a different level, right? Peaked at number 6 on the Billboard 200 and became one of the long-selling catalog staples, right? So it's an album, again, like I said, everyone should have it, right? I don't. But this
I'll
was
find one for
really,
you.
one of the one of the supreme albums, best albums, where you've got three men that just harmonize so wonderfully together.
I
I'm
thought that
not
was
going to say
us.
so much as they got older, but in their early years, man, the harmonies.
Were they ever really harmonious together? Like,
Yes, I think they. I'll say this. I
when the
think
drugs were
that,
good.
Yeah.
I think that David Crosby and Graham Nash, I think, were a perfect blend for one another. They sang well together. I think the three of them, I think their harmonies were great. I think they all had very unique voices. Obviously, if it didn't work, they wouldn't have sold the records that they did. But something about David Crosby and Graham Nash that really just they had magic, man. But the album was obviously praised for vocal harmonies, songwriting, and the blending of just folk rock. This album was recognized and is put into one of the greatest albums ever conversation. So I don't have to tell anybody to get it. I need to get it because I don't have it anymore, because everybody in here tonight probably has it.
do you have it on
So-
CD?
I need to go back and buy another copy, but I think I'm going to go get a MoFi of it. Fing, that is an excellent question. I don't know. God, I don't know how the three men on the record harmony would sound. I think
Pretty good.
think
Pretty
that
god awful. I'm pretty sure. I
I
don't
think
think we have
Sean
to.
would stand out. We should probably do that at least once.
Casting couch. Yes, I know.
I think the three of us should do a three men on the record couch and do a
Oh, yeah.
harmony album.
My mixer has effects, so I can put effects on my voice.
That makes
And-
sense too.
You're gonna need
And I-
auto-tune.
And I have a pitch changer down here that I have to wire in,
Oh, there you go.
so I can do a lot.
So, sounds like you're getting ready to sing, Sean, with all that
Maybe.
gear. Right?
You should
You've
see
been
me
holding
the-
back.
The other morning, I was jamming out, singing. I forget what
He
I was
can croon,
singing,
man. I mean, there's Marvin Gaye,
That
and then there's Shark Crossing Vinyl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Leland,
Jake
I
did that
agree. I
one.
don't know why he's saying the MoFi. This is the one right here.
Yeah, but it's like a $300+ record, you know.
That's not this right
Nah.
here. You can get.
But
this
you
for,
said it was $300.
for you.
I
it's
said I
$300.
charge you $300 for it. It's only like $65-$70.
So I had it. I had one sealed and I sold it. I've got 5 copies, I think, of Deja Vu.
but if you want that one right there, it is $300, and I'll
I'm
send
not.
it to you
Yeah, I know.
tomorrow.
I'm not going to pay $300. I'll pay you $25 for it.
Mo-fi schmo-fi.
Well, we talked about this, right? Like some MoFis are excellent, and
Yeah.
some probably are better than others. I think
that's-
having a MoFi of this, it's well worth a go.
Yeah, with the
I don't
MoFis,
think
you
I've
always
even
got
had
to you got to go do your research on the Hoffman forums, and figure out which ones they did well and which ones they didn't. When they do it well, it's great.
Yeah, I should have kept my one step. I bet that thing. And
Quit selling everything.
well, I think we all as sellers, right? You always come back to that. I'll come
I'll get
across it
another.
again.
Yeah.
I'll get another one. This guy really wants it. This gal really wants this record. You sell it, and you don't see it again.
Yeah, because
Couch
it's
was
always
never a mo-fi.
Right there is
There
there's
it
a
was. That's what the mock.
it's right there. Yeah, that's a MoFi right there.
was that wasn't CD only, was it?
I don't know. I just Googled it. To
So
get the cover
I know
from.
this. I know that it's been done on CD 3 times. I think they've redone it 3 times. So it could be on CD, not necessarily on wax, but
It's got a
see it.
one step. It looks like it has a one step. 125. That's a one step. Yeah, so it's available as a one step. So there you go.
I should have kept my one step.
You should have.
So I need to just gonna go ahead and say that the self-titled. I need to buy it again because everyone else here has it.
I know I have it, but not down here. But I have it. All right. So I think Scott's the last one to present the last record, right? I think so.
Okay, so since I'm an old guy, I'm going to get in the Wayback Machine, and we're gonna travel. I went to '89 before. I'm going to '88 this time. Although the first time I ever heard this record It was 89. So this record is Melissa Etheridge, self-titled. And there was a story about this, and I like to give people credit that helped me discover good music. So in '88, I was going through all my military training. So it was like 6 months of my life just disappeared while I went to boot camp and technical school, and there wasn't a lot of music discovery. And then when I got to Germany, and at some point I met my wife, and when we moved in together, this is before we were married. When we moved in together, I noticed she had just a few CDs. And of course, I always notice people's, but she had some Billy Joel, she had Paul Simon, but she had two Melissa Etheridge records. One was this, and the other one was CDs. The other one was Brave and Crazy. So one day I decided I'm going to listen to this just to see what it's like. I didn't really know her. And it blew me away. In 88, 89, what's going on is like, you know, hair metal was on its, you know, they had it on a ventilator. It was getting really bad. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I bought the Motley Crue, the Warrant, the Rat, the Poison. I had it all, you know, and I bought those CDs. I listened to it. I enjoyed the music. But thematically, it was not very artistic, a lot of it, you know. In the 80s, the other thing about the 80s was not really good for female rockers. The 70s had Benatar and, you know, Hart, and, you know, you had those female rockers out there. The 80s, I mean, who do we have? Vixen? Good God, that was bad. Lita Ford, you know, every once in a while, but, you know, she was really a 70s singer, you know, from the Runaways. So, you know, the thing that I noticed immediately is thematically, like the songs were just more about real people stuff. You know, they weren't simple drugs, sex, rock and roll, groupies, touring, sex. You know, that was hair band. That's pretty much what you got thematically from their music. So it's just, you know, on this record, and the reason I picked this one, I mean, she would go on later, like her fourth record had Come to My Window, and she was huge. That made her huge. But this record has more of a rock sheen to it, like an undertone. Waddy Wachtel plays guitar on it, and similar features, great song, Chrome-Plated Heart, Like the Way I Do, another up-tempo kind of rocker, Bring Me Some Water, just a great record. And, you know, what gave me the idea last week, we were talking about the Hall nominees, and I was just looking at that list saying, I wouldn't be upset if she got in. She's had a great career, and it got me to thinking of, like, if I was going to add one of her records, although she's had records that sold more, I still think this might be her best record, which is her debut. So from 1988, Melissa Etheridge, we're going to add her to the 500 and wish her good luck on the Hall nomination.
Adam, don't count
one.
out Debbie Gibson. If you're going to mention Tiffany, you got to put in Debbie.
There were pop singers. It's just rock, like rock.
Is Debbie on the list?
On the Hall list? No, they were just talking about what I think they were reacting to me saying there were no 80s females. Yeah. There were in pop. There wasn't in rock, you know.
Yeah. Well, what was okay, I have a question for all you.
Tina Turner, yeah.
What was the second music video played on MTV? It was a woman rocker.
Second.
Hey Mickey, right?
No. He mentioned her name. He mentioned her name a few minutes ago.
Chrissy Hind.
Lita Ford.
Pat Benatar. You Better Run was the second video on MTV.
Really?
Yep.
Which one was the first?
The Buggles video
Buggles,
killed the radio.
Video killed the radio star. That's what
I got to say this. That you know, we all sell records, right? We sell the Pat Benatars, but I still think Pat Benatar her and Neil Giraudo are underrated for what they did. I mean, they've got 3 or 4 records as good as almost any classic rockers out there. So,
and they're still great. I just saw them open for Bryan Adams, and they killed it for 30 minutes.
Yeah, and they're in their 70s now, early 70s.
Hey, don't forget Joan Jett.
Yeah, love Joan Jett always.
But
She
she
never
was in the
really went
second
away.
video. No, she hasn't. All right. So now, guys, we've done that. And I'm going to show one more thing I forgot to add that I picked up this week. For those of you who know.
Nice. That's cool.
I thought it was
Power
thought
Man.
it was another Mitch Miller.
Power Man, and then the Grateful Dead bootleg. So this is where we're going to do the five for the week, and Scott is going to be doing the top 5 AC/DC songs, albums. No way! Look at that.
I told Wes he's like fitting right in. He's thematically ready for
I
the
came
show.
prepared. It's a
Are you
power up
ready?
shirt. So.
Are you ready? Here it is, guys. The top 5 ACD albums according to Scott.
Sean, can you fix that all up there? Yeah.
And then I gotta hide that one. There we go.
All right. So I'm hoping that next week I don't have the top 5, so that's a challenge to Jake and Sean. Your turn in the shoot. And I'm going to advocate. I don't know, Jake, how much time you have, but I think the soundtrack one might be good. Maybe we could talk about it and get a list and do the top 5 soundtracks.
Yeah, we can chat about it for sure.
Okay.
I'm down.
So we're going to do AC/DC tonight. Another band that I've always liked. I was talking to the guys before the show and said, it really wasn't super hard because they had a whole run of albums there from Flick of the Switch, Fly on the Wall, and their most horrific album ever, Blow Up Your Video, that were just not good. They went away from Mutt Lange as the producer, and I think sometimes that's a good demonstration of like, it's good to have a producer sometimes. So those were all self-produced, I believe. And then they also, here's the thing I was thinking about when I was doing this is we always talk about Michael McDonald background singing on all these hit songs. You know who number 2 background singing on a lot of hit songs? Mutt Lange.
Oh, really?
Hey, really?
Oh yeah, like Def Leppard, Foreigner, Heart. He sings on the Shania Twain records.
I didn't know he sang, but God,
oh yeah, he's great.
If you've got him in your corner, man, you're gonna have a great record.
Yeah, he's like
sure.
the guy just prints money. Like he, just,
it's amazing.
So anyway, so it did boil down to did the initial cut, went and checked out a few albums, and I thought, well, some of the earlier ones, I wanted to make sure I was getting the right ones in there, and it just boiled down to really 6 albums. So all week I've been trying to figure out what are the 5 that make it and what's the one that gets it. So there's only one honorable mention I'll show you, but I was kind of heartbroken because I really loved the album, and when I get to it, I'll tell you why I loved it. So let's get started on AC/DC top 5. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. This is kind of a different one. So it was actually released it's a 76 record in Australia, but it was not released worldwide until 81. I don't really know the reasons behind that. I would think extremely poor judgment of somebody at the record company, because you hear Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Do you not want to blow that across the whole world? I mean, that's one of their greatest songs. But for whatever reason, it wasn't. It actually fell into that period.
Well, it is a long flight from Australia, so
I guess back in the golden days, yeah, they'd have to put it on a boat or something. They didn't have planes in 1976, I guess. But what happened, since none of you were probably paying attention or alive, in the case of Wes, or maybe even Jake was. Were you alive in 81?
Yes, I was born in 77.
Okay, so
but not you. You were 1877, I guess.
No, I was 12. But I will tell you how, and Floyd and other people will remember this, right? So they really started getting big in the States on Highway to Hell. That song broke. They had a massive U.S. tour, had the traction, and then they're getting ready to do the next album, which was only a year later. And Bon Scott passes away. So they put out Back in Black, monstrous, like one of the
Greatest
biggest
comeback
achievements.
album of all time.
Yeah, and I mean, he died in February. They released that album in July of that year, and that album was such a hit. For some reason, it made him go back and look at this Dirty Deeds, and they released that 6 months later, and then they released For Those About to Rock. So in like a 2.5 year period, we had 4 AC/DC records. So yes, they just exploded on the scene when they got big. So I've always loved this record. It's a fun record. It's a little snarky. It's a little revolutionary. I mean, it's about being against the man, Dirty Deeds, big balls. Like, it's all this sarcastic stuff about, the sinister man out there, generic man. All right. Got to go with For Those About to Rock at number 4. Really love this record too. It did not have, a song like Back in Black or You Shook Me All Night Long. They didn't have that kind of hit off of this record, but I mean, they tried. Let's Get It Up, and it's kind of like trying to be this record's version of You Shook Me All Night Long. But what it does have is just as good a collection of songs. Like, every song on this record is very listenable. It's good. So I can't say anything negative. It's got the monster, For Those About to Rock was a big, it was the first single. It was big, but they really didn't have any big hits after that from this album. But solid record. And number 4. Number 3, High Voltage. Okay, this is back with, if you're keeping score, this is 2 Bon Scott, 1 Brian Johnson so far. But on this one, you have Livewire, TNT, and what else is on this one?
The Jack.
The Jack. There's one more huge one on this one.
TNT.
I said TNT.
Oh, you did. Sorry.
First song on the record.
The first song.
Think Jack Black.
Oh, It's a Long Way to the Top.
Yeah. There you go. So just a great record. So to me, it is better overall than For Those About to Rock, just because it has so many iconic AC/DC songs on there. All right, so it's number 3. So you guys know what 1 and 2 are going to be. Oh, wrong way. Highway to Hell. I hear a lot of people say Highway to Hell they like it better than Back in Black.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great record. Touch Too Much. Of course, the iconic Highway to Hell single that really, that was them getting attention in the U.S. was when that was released. The rock radio played it heavy. Then it got to be like a top 40, kind of played on top 40 stations.
Yeah, Highway to Hell could have easily. It could have easily been on Back in Black as well. It has that sound, right? So
yeah. Well, this is their first record where Mutt Lange produced it. Mutt Lange produced For Those About to Rock, and so great record. I really love this record. I mean, to me, they're like 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
I love them both. But I could not say that Highway to Hell was better than. I keep going the wrong way. Back in Black. This is.
It's not the Razor's Edge? I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
We'll talk about that. I mean, every song on Back in Black is great, I think. They're all great. Rock and Roll Ain't even the album cuts. Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, Giving a Dog a Bone. I mean, come on. If they come on, you get into them. And then the singles are monster. You Shook Me All Night Long, Back in Black, Shoot the Thrill, Hell's Bells. I mean, just songs that are still iconic today. There you go.
It's a greatest hits record almost.
It really is. And the OG press, which I think that's what Jake was holding up there. That's what I have too. That's the one that Sounds good. You know, I would love to see this is on Atlantic, or Atco. I mean, I'd love to see a Rhino Hi-Fi Back in Black. I don't know if they can make it better. It already sounds so darn good.
It does sound really good.
Yeah. All right. So that's one honorable mention, and Wes nailed it. The honorable mention actually is Razor's Edge.
Oh wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I support it.
Razor's Edge was after they come off that really crappy run of records, and don't get me wrong, there was some good songs on those records. Like I'm a big fan of oh my god, Flick of the Switch, Guns for Hire. I love that riff in Guns for Hire. It's just killer. But this is where they realized, oh, maybe a little bit of production isn't a bad thing, and they got it back together on this record. And it's not 10 songs deep, but there's 4 or 5 on here that are really good. Couple that are great. Are You Ready? And Thunderstruck.
Fire Your Guns.
Yeah,
just driving the whole way.
Yeah.
You weren't gonna just take one of the singles. You weren't gonna take Big Gun off of The Last Action Hero. And that lovely video with Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to play guitar.
Big God. That's a great song. I like that song, but that's my justification. I do think like all the way from, Fly on the Wall, Flick of the Switch, and Blow Up Your Vet, not good records. They're just not good records. And, as they went on, then this was kind of a monstrous hit. And the follow-up was, Ball Breaker, which tried to be this record again, and it didn't. It had 1 or 2 good songs on it. But I was telling Wes before, when we were in kind of the pre-show, that, with me, I was like, oh, just give me 2 good songs on every AC/DC album from here on out, because you gave me a whole collection of great songs. And they pretty much did that. And I did want to give a little pat on the back to their last record, which nobody knew they were releasing, that Power Up. And they
I really liked it.
I thought it was good. Special note to the song,
Through the Mists of Time.
Yeah, thank you. I forgot there. Through the Mists of Time. What a terrific song.
Huge song.
Yeah, and they've never done anything like that. I mean, it's not completely stylistic, but it is. They've never wrote those personal, reflective type songs like that.
It's kind of like Money Talks to me. It's kind of got that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But the first song, Realize, they're Shot in the Dark.
Yeah.
Spell. It's a good record.
Yeah, I think it is probably the best record they did probably since Razor's Edge.
Yeah,
and the fact that nobody knew they were even working on a record when they announced it was coming out. And Brian Johnson sounded good on that record. Sounded real good.
Yeah, if you didn't know any better, you could throw it in with those.
Yeah,
the other records you can't even tell.
So all right,
Adam, this is the RL, brother.
Yeah, the RL is what I got too. Yeah.
Aren't they all RLs?
Let me fix my.
Don't tell anybody, Wes, but yes, they all are. But finding one clean.
There we go.
Finding one clean is hard.
Oh yeah, that's one of the most thrashed records. The cover for sure. You never see it.
Mine's gorgeous.
Mine's gorgeous too.
You're gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
I got that one, and I got Highway to Hell first press too.
I actually did not know that they were all Robert Ludwig.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody gets off on this vinyl thing of like, it's RL. I was like, do you people realize how many things that
he did? I mean, he was
the man back in the.
The only time you need to look for it is on a Zeppelin 2. Otherwise, it's just whatever.
Oh yeah,
right. But some people have almost like a white label promo because it's RL.
You just know it's going to sound.
It's very likely it's going to sound great.
Yeah.
And you won't need any other version. You get that with the AC/DC. You get it with Brothers in Arms.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it right the first time, and that's all you need. And sometimes you don't necessarily need to get that Mo-Fi or whatever. Some of those RL masters just were great as they came out.
And that might be the reason they're not. Like, I don't know if Leland is still in here, but he might know because he runs in those audiophile circles. But I don't think Back in Black's ever been done in a audiophile treatment. I don't know that there's a Mo-Fi or
I've never seen one.
What's that? What's that German company that?
Like Palace Audio, or
Well,
something?
they do audiophile records too. I've just never seen one. I mean, it might be good. I think it'd probably sell a lot if they let somebody like Kevin Gray get their hands on it and rework it. I don't know. Don't take the bass out of it. That's for sure.
No, if anything, bump it up a
Right.
little, make it more punchy.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not seeing too many complaints. I guess I did okay.
Yeah, I think that was fair.
I did have, it was 3-2. Bond beat Brian, but I think that's just the thing about AC/DC. The singers, it's really Angus Young and Malcolm Young and a lot of credit goes to Malcolm, even though Angus is better known because he's the lead guitarist. But all those a lot of those killer riffs came from Malcolm Young.
Yeah, Malcolm Young is one of the probably most underrated rhythm guitarists, and the riffs that he came up with, right?
Yeah, he really was kind of the spine of that band.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I don't see anything that would be an audiophile version of that album.
I won't ban you, Floyd. You're always welcome. We'll see you tomorrow.
Like, I'm reading something that says the sound quality of the album Back in Black is so good that after its release, studios in Nashville would use it to check its acoustics of a room because it just done so well.
Well, I'll tell you a story about Back in Black. While I was in college, my mom she worked at an auto parts store. So she got me a part-time job as like a delivery driver. So we would drive to work together. But it was in my car. So, being...
What car was that?
It was a 76 Mustang.
Okay. All right.
Which is not the cool Mustangs. I mean...
No, it's the one that's got smaller. It kind of looks like a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a dressed-up Pinto.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, it looks like a Pinto or something.
Yeah. So, but I did, when I got it, my dad did put a very nice Kenwood tape deck in there. So I was playing my music. So my mom, big country music fan, Conway Twitty, that kind of stuff. So every day for 1 week, I had it in there. I had AC/DC in there. And toward the end of the week, she looked over and she goes, I can't really understand a lot about what that guy's saying, but those guys can get a beat going. So I was like, oh, and I said, yeah, they do. They got that blues boogie rock, and and I always applaud them because I wish sometimes, if they're a band who never changed, they just did their thing regardless of what was out there, grunge or disco. It didn't matter. They did.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
Anyone opinions on the 50th anniversary of Back in Black? How'd that sound compared to the original?
I don't know. I got a few of those represses, and they sounded like ass. They were bad.
Poo-poo. Fiji piss.
There are no RLs, that's for sure.
It's such a huge difference. Like, if you really love Back in Black, just spend the $35 to $50 to get a clean Back in Black.
Get a good RL, yeah.
There's plenty out
you
there.
know what? Here's a question for y'all. Scott kind of touched base, but it is a good question. Was there a particular album, a band or album, that like your parents looked at you and you're like, you know what, this is pretty good? Because I've had that. I think we've all had that experience, because we all got into music, right? I'm sure your parents probably like, hey, can you guys turn the music down? I can't hear a darn thing, right? Like, we all probably dealt with that. But there was always probably like one band, maybe a couple, but one band where they were like, I couldn't help but hear what you were playing. That's pretty good. Who is that? My grandfather hearing Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
When we played it in their Buick, I had the cassette tape. They picked me up after a YMCA basketball game, and my brother and I were driving to hang out with him. And we're like, Grandpa, play this. And I remember when we played it, he's like, I don't know. In his universe, he was like, Jake, this Japanese music sounds excellent. He's like, are they Japanese? And I'm like, no, Grandpa, they're English. And he
Same
just, for
difference.
whatever reason, he thought all the like the synthesizers, right, and the Moogs and stuff they were playing.
Oh yeah,
He
I
just
can
thought
see
it was
that,
all.
yeah.
He thought it was Japanese music. So
Japanese space jazz.
we laughed at him about it, but we listened to that thing. It was a 2-hour drive. We listened to it like back to back to back. He loved that thing.
Well, it's funny how people wall themselves off, right? Like, I had somebody that don't really know that much about music in the past couple years. I forget what it was, but I was, they were like, "Oh, I don't like that heavy rock." I was like, "Pink Floyd's not heavy rock. Go listen to it." And they came back and they said, "Actually, I liked some of that." I was like, "Yeah, it's like, don't mix up your Black Sabbath with your Pink Floyd. There's differences, and I mean, I like me some Sabbath, but it's what I like. Just don't say it's crap till you go listen to it, and then it may be crap, but somebody
At least
probably
now you
loves it.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love
Gotta
that.
give it a
I
chance.
don't really care about what people love. Like I love people that love music, even if I'm not into your music. I feel like you're kind of a brother. Like you're wired like
Yes.
me, because I would rather have music on than the TV. Like 9 times out of 10, I'd vote for
Oh
that.
yeah. I just got a TV yesterday for the first time in a decade, so
There you go.
I'm all music all the time.
Don't be hitting that crack pipe, Wes.
Oh no, not But to go back to Jake's question, I was blessed with cool parents, and they dumped a lot of their music on me. But I remember one kind of recently. My mom got really into Kings of Leon. I had a girlfriend buy me. I had a girlfriend buy me like front row tickets, so I was listening to a lot of Kings of Leon, and then my mom was like, "Hey, who's that?" and burned me all their CDs. So that's what came to mind for me.
My brother got my dad into Rush. So he basically was a chaperone. We had a buddy of ours, my brother's friend named Matt Dill. We called him Dill Pickle. And he loved Rush. And my brother got into Rush from him, and they wanted to go and see Rush. This is probably during like Hold Your Fire. So probably like 87-ish. And I don't think my dad ever knew of Rush and drove to the concert. And he looked over, like my brother remembered looking over during one of Neil Peart's like solos, and he just saw my dad just going nuts. He was like, "Dad!"
Damn, Dad.
My brother, I think, was like 13. Yeah, my dad was like 13 and lost it at a Rush concert. He got pulled in.
Well, who can't? I mean, who? You listen to Neil Peart. I mean, you got to be blown away. That's just amazing.
Unbelievable. And if you were lucky enough to see them live, unbelievable.
Yeah.
I saw them during their 40th. So I was honored to be able to see Neil Peart in action. Got to see him do his killer drum solo like he did every show. And let's see, my wife was 3 months pregnant then, so Winter was with us at that concert, which was awesome. And I'm going to see him in June with
Annika Niles.
Yep. And she, God, man, she could play.
Yeah, I've been watching all those clips of her, playing the various songs. I'm like, yep, you'll do. That's pretty good.
He's got it. Yeah, they got nothing to be worried about with her.
Yeah,
she's got it covered, man.
All right,
Sean, what's yours?
What's my what?
Like one album, right, or a band that your mom or dad, whatever, somebody you were listening to, and they came down and they're like, "Hey, yeah, that's a good record." Something that maybe they weren't aware of.
It was a strictly Beatles household for the most part, so I don't think there was.
Hey, I was too.
Yeah, it was pretty much all Beatles, and that was it. I think for the most part, I can't remember anything else playing other than Beatles in the house.
Wow,
I can't remember anything else.
That's crazy.
So that's basically what my girls grew up.
And it was
to,
8-track. It was 8-track too.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I've got it on Classic Rewind on satellite, right, and then Beatles channel. So anytime anybody comes in the car, like it's always on, always.
You could listen to the Beatles anytime, anywhere. I don't understand the Beatles.
Never get tired of it.
Every once in a while, you come across a guy who can't stand the Beatles, and it's like you just want to.
Well, there's always every once in a while there's someone remember Beatles are overrated.
I used to
How
hear
can
that. I used to hear that a lot too. My best friend.
You
would
can't
refuse
overrate
to
the
listen to
Beatles. I
him.
mean, maybe they're not your thing, but to say they're overrated, I don't.
Yeah, to not give them any credit at all is just
It's
absolutely
not your thing. I'm
bonkers.
fine with that. You're a Rolling
Yeah.
Stone guy, whatever. But
Yeah.
overrated, you get to see a band evolve from, this bubblegumish kind of music, young to this. They just the way they grow. There's no way they're
Otherworldly,
over-
man.
Yeah,
Otherworldly. I mean,
And all the
what's
music
the
that came after
likelihood?
them.
Yeah,
they
what's the
influenced
likelihood?
everyone. If they were overrated,
time.
then why is half the world influenced
Yeah.
by them?
Probably most influential band ever, right?
mean,
Think
the-
about it.
and-
How many band members, how many bands that you know of that every single member of that band could have basically had their own band if they wanted to?
Mhm.
There's not many that could say that. They all sang, they all fronted their own stuff after, right? They're all in the Hall of Fame. So
Yeah.
And they're probably responsible for Oasis.
Well, see,
Well,
that's
yeah.
unforgivable.
Heavily
Like,
influenced.
Yeah, that's just
bring that to the world.
yeah, that's.
heavily influenced.
I'm gonna text Paul and tell him thanks a lot for Oasis.
Well, I mean, it's like we were talking about who's really original. I mean, the Beatles, Stones, they all go back to like
Two different
blues
bands.
and Chuck Berry and the stuff they loved, Howlin' Wolf and all that stuff. So
Right,
I don't get too caught up. I mean, the Beatles are not my favorite band because I went more the rock. I mean, I'm more of a Stones person, in that path. But there's no way you could not acknowledge how terrific that music is and say, okay, I might understand why they're the most popular band in the world ever.
All right, so I did send him back. I said to Paul, I blame. Goddamn thing.
Yep. Well, here's the thing.
I blamed him for Oasis, and there he is.
You're not wrong as far as like them. That's what was great about them, right? Is the fact that when they broke up, the one person they all cared about to make sure that he was taken care of was Ringo. They all contributed. They all wrote songs for him. But at the end of the day, his voice is unmistakable. He has a voice. As unique as it is, he has a voice. He had #1 hits.
Yeah, I like
Now,
Ringo.
love him.
He has a new album coming out, doesn't he? This week or last?
I still haven't heard it, and I need to get it.
There's the
Has
Cowboy
anybody
one,
here?
and
Yep,
then
has
another new
anybody
one?
listened?
I thought I saw something about a new album.
I
Yeah.
Has
haven't
anyone listened to
Cowboy
the
one.
country record?
I didn't listen to it, but I
haven't either.
Well, he sings act naturally, so you know what it's gonna sound like.
But see, I love his country western stuff. That's
Yeah.
why I love Buku's a Blues so much. 'Cause he
Yeah.
just has a natural voice for it in a weird way.
I do want to apologize to the chat because this is their part of the show where they get to ask questions, and we just kind of ignored you guys. I apologize, but if you have any questions,
No, there's
please.
no ignoring. I'm watching the chat.
But we didn't give them the opportunity to ask some questions.
All right,
That's
chat.
right.
Here, and what do you guys want to ask us? Anything?
Any questions for chat?
And
This is usually where I thank our guest, and I was, I asked Jake. I said, "What do you think about trying to get Wes?" He's like, "Hell yes!" So
Jake, I will say you're one of the people I always see at Austin, and you always give me a hug, and it makes me feel loved.
Always, brother.
Oh,
always- Yeah, so it's always great to be invited to do stuff like this with you guys.
Oh man,
be a
I
part
love
of the
you
circle.
guys. Y'all have got great stuff. I mean, the last few years going to the convention, it's always great to, see you and Glenn there. It's great running into David when he's been there. I loved bringing Scott over, and even Scott coming in and acknowledging like, man, this is some great stuff. And Scott was right, dude. We were there the bulk of the convention.
Yeah.
I think
No,
60% of the records I bought at the convention I bought from you guys.
Yeah.
You had some
Yeah,
great bargains on.
Not to brag, a lot of people come to us first, they find a couple things, and then they walk around and they come back and they're like, oh, I should have just stayed here and shopped. We put in the work. But planetarysounds.com, if you guys want to shop 24/7, you always can.
Yeah, absolutely, y'all.
And I know when David, was thinking about, selling his stuff, and he was talking about, working with Wes, I was like, yes, that would, Wes would do great on the stream. I'm sure your ability to sell records far exceeds David's ability to sell records. He's good at buying records. He's
really good at
acquisition
buying
guy.
them. Yeah, he's sitting here right next to me now. But
Um,
we'll be doing a whatnot thing tomorrow after Jake too. So
Yeah, and it
When
sounded
I-
like I talked to him today. Sound like you guys have some good stuff there that is going to start dribbling out tomorrow.
yeah, there's some newbies sitting next to me, and it should be a good time.
The truth is, he's in the witness protection program. That's why you can't see him. He
David,
hides. Yeah, he hides over.
that could
you
be
hear-
the case. Yeah.
You hear his
He's-
voice, but he hides.
Well,
there.
tell him to walk around and at least wave at all the. These are all whatnot people here.
Yeah, come wave here, David.
You don't have to be shy.
You might see a hand.
Come over and wave to the
Yeah.
people.
He's like,
See?
I'm
See?
Yeah, he said,
no way.
No.
He always says he's got a face made for radio.
Well, you tell David then if he doesn't show himself, his next bundle request is auto denied.
Your next bundle's auto denied. Oh, he's coming. He can't have that.
He's like,
I'm about a minute behind you guys.
Oh, the stream's a minute behind?
Yeah.
yeah, it's off by
Yeah, it's
Oh,
at
he's
least
watching it
30.
from YouTube. Well, they just
Yeah,
want you to come wave and
Okay.
yeah. This is now.
This is
There
DD.
he is.
There's
There's
the
the man.
Hey,
What up, brother?
They're saying, "What up, brother?"
What's happening?
I was
guys?
thinking,
Thank
I
y'all.
was picturing
Having Wes
something
on.
hideous, but that's not so
he's-
bad.
He's a powerful, attractive man.
I was a little scared. I didn't know what to expect, but
Nah.
it's not too bad.
No, that's
David's
the man
a
right
good
there.
man.
That's D&D Collectibles, Texas.
There you
Thanks,
go.
guys.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Okay, thank you, David.
Yeah, I've just been hired to be the face of the D&D whatnot.
Beautiful face it is, my
I
man.
don't know about that, but
I don't know. Maybe the brains too. I don't know.
I know a
More
little
brains than me, that's for damn sure.
despite being too young. This guy looks like he's ready to sell me a used car. Oh, that's funny.
Who, David?
David. That's funny because that's what he did.
David, yeah, that's what he did.
That's where he got his fame.
All right. Well, thanks. And when I saw your record list, I was like, "Yep, this is exactly why I wanted to bring Wes on because I knew he'd bring some different stuff and great additions tonight." So,
Well,
you
thank
know,
you.
we'll keep you out there, and hopefully you can come back again and
Oh,
bring
yeah, I'd
some
love
more
to.
interesting knowledge to us. So,
I would love to. This was fun. So thank you
Yeah,
guys
it's a
for
lot of
having
fun,
me.
A lot of fun. Thanks for coming on.
And Sean, nice to finally virtually.
Yeah,
meet
nice to virtually meet you.
Tucker, that is true. That is very true.
Jack has
that might
more
be a
brains than
statement.
Jake.
That might be the statement of the year.
you. Exactly.
So we have no questions, but we
No
have people
questions.
beating up on Jake's. That's even better.
Yeah. So
I
that's what we were talking about. So Tucker's an equal opportunity offender. He goes after us all. So him going after you, Wes, was just making you welcome. Welcome
Oh, I
to
love it.
3 Men on
I'll
the
take
Record.
it. I feel.
I welcome
now.
all insults.
Yeah, bring them on. I can take it.
All right. So let's do some promo, Sean.
That's
All
right.
right.
The women.
So this is where we ask. So what do you guys? When are we streaming this week, guys?
What is today?
I'm going to be on for a couple hours tomorrow morning.
Yep.
And then we're going to be father-in-law's in town, so we're going to be going out, and God, that's beautiful, and taking out for some barbecue. This one's a good one too.
Nice.
I'll
and then
be-
after Jake, we have.
Oh, yeah.
After
Wes.
Jake, D&D Collectibles
Collectibles
Texas will
Beyond.
be following Jake around 11 Pacific time. I think it'll be a little later for you guys, 1 p.m. Eastern.
And you guys definitely
then-
want to check him out. When I was talking to David on the phone today, he's making me want to tune in for a little while to see if there's something maybe I'm missing.
Oh, they've always got great stuff. So
It's a great mix of stuff. You know, there's Japanese stuff, there's cheap starts, there's sealed stuff, there's compilation, anything. There's something for everyone. At least come by and say hello.
come ahead,
Rob
check it
Peter.
out. Like I just got an autographed Robin Trower from them. Super pumped
Oh,
about
that's
that
right.
one.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was a great one.
So when you go in the chat tomorrow, say I saw you on 3 Men on the Record.
Yeah. If you're in the chat, say, hey, I saw you on three men on.
Yeah, because some of them don't have the same usernames on here as they have on what we've learned who they are.
Yeah, true. I was confusing people not being on the D&D account. I'm wet cement on there.
Yeah. And so Jake's on Friday. Wes and David are going to follow him. I'll be on a little later on Saturday because I gotta buy Friday night. So stay up late, do that. Then I'll be on at 10. Probably be on it for a couple hours, and then Sean, expect that you're going to be in your usual time and location.
Yeah, I'll be on Sunday morning, the longest running show on Whatnot. Sunday mornings. This one is my least favorite one because it's that whole daylight savings time.
Oh,
It's
that's right.
actually easy like 7 in the morning, which is not so easy. So we'll be on at 8 a.m., which is actually 7 until we move the clocks. So we lose an hour. Which
Gosh.
is not my favorite time of the year.
That's right.
who knows?
I don't. I love the sunlight in the evening, so I'll take it. I'll give up the hour.
I
for
like
the
to
sun.
sleep in the morning that I'm losing. You're retired. You don't have to worry about that.
I'm retired. I work like 80 hours a week on records
Yeah.
and podcasts. So
There you
You're
go.
working harder than me.
You are a hard worker.
um,
I might even be on Saturday morning briefly. Who knows? Maybe I'll mess around with my OBS again, see if that works. But
all right. Well, let's talk about what's coming up on Three Men. We were talking. We don't have a lot scheduled, but we have some cool stuff. So, Sean, tell them about next week.
next week we have Kim from the Flip Side with Kim, and you guys know Kim, and it'll be a fun show. I think we're gonna struggle to keep up with her. I think, to be honest with you. And again, she'll be talking about her. We'll talk to her about her new show that she's developing with her partner Lee, and that'll be a great. It'll be a fun show, and we'll
Yeah.
see what she picks because she had only one album the other day, and because she was struggling, like you have to pick 3, and of course, almost everything's her favorite, so it's kind of hard to narrow.
Well,
down.
she sent her picks in. Like, I think Floyd's going to be happy. Just put it that way. Floyd's
Yeah.
going to be happy with the Kim picks.
And keep in mind, she was a DJ at a jazz station and a DJ at a country station, so she's seen a lot of different music.
Yeah.
And she loves T-Rex and Beck, and yeah, so it'll be definitely a fun show. And then the week after that, we have good old the ladies, 3 ladies on the record, 3 women on the record, 3 ladies on the record. I forget.
4 women on the record.
4 of them.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be the weekend after that. We got a lot going on, and it's going to be fun. And Jake is, I guess we're doing soundtracks, top 5.
Yeah.
But we have to
What-
figure out the format because, again, there's so many that it's unfair to just do 5. So
You have to
maybe
figure out the date on it because let's
maybe a
see,
year span or something.
spring break for us is 16th through the 20th. So there's a Thursday through Sunday. I will be gone.
Is that next week? That's the 12th.
Not next week.
Oh,
No,
next
so
week. Okay.
So it'll be I think I'll be gone the 19th, 20th, 21st.
That's the
And then I
one.
come back that Sunday.
Yeah, well, that'll be fine because there'll be the women, but I'll be gone I think the following week. I got to check with my wife to make sure I got the dates right, but I'm actually gone Thursday to Thursday. So there'll be 2 shows. We'll talk about what we can do or what you guys want to do. I hate to mix 2 weeks, but if you guys want to take a week off, that'll be fine. Well, actually, I would miss 1 week and then I would come back the next week. I would actually be here, but I'd have to be able to do the prep from vacation. But anyway, we'll talk about how we'll try to make it where we just take a week off. We're actually taking 2 weeks off because the women are going to give us a week off too. So
Tucker, just know that the 5 soundtracks I'm going to do, they're all going to be from 1994.
well, I tell you what, the soundtracks are hard when you just, it's not like an artist. So we'll do, maybe we'll do 10 and, Jake, give me a call and I'll produce some stuff that might help us and then we can kind of talk, make sure we got it covered. So I'll do a little research for you, Jake, and then we'll talk and you decide which way you want to take it.
Yeah, we'll chit chat.
Okay.
It might-
Send me that,
and by
send me
decade
that-
might be
send me
it
that
might be good
couch.
by decade probably too.
Yeah,
Might
it's
be
not a
the way
bad
to do it.
idea.
Go ahead and send that sealed couch over. Appreciate you.
All right.
Just
So I-
Venmo me
sold all of mine.
$300. It's yours, brother.
also, I'm gonna challenge for all you guys. You guys all did well. We had 2 submissions that did all the record covers from Jake. So I want to thank that. Nothing this week, but my next challenge, guys, would be use some of that AI, make a theme song for our show. Let's see what you guys can come up with, and maybe
You don't want the 17-hour Gonzo Shinoinigans loop?
no.
I know we have some musicians.
Yeah, so see what you guys can do, and I will
Like-
give you guys the best submission is going to get a 3 minute on the record hat
Oh,
That is
cool.
true, Tucker.
Wait, what does the song have to be for?
for the intro to
It's our bumper
show.
music, like
For
our
the whole
intro
show.
music. So we need like
Just like a little clip?
yeah, we
like
need
a
like
30,
20, 30 seconds
Yeah.
of something that
Alright.
you know, like we don't want no like trance music or something like that, but something that represents
Non-copyrighted,
so-
so we can play it when we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an original. Yeah,
all,
maybe it'll help
all
you guys.
submissions become property of 3 Men on the Record.
And you get a hat. And I have a
almost got
feeling
the
that we
hat.
might use a combination of a couple. Who knows? You never know.
There you go.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, because we're working on a little intro for the videos that we'll use across all videos, but we're trying to get something with a little bit of music on it, maybe an animation, and you know,
Something
then
like
we'll have that.
Nardwar.
And something, maybe a little poke to Gonzo a little bit. You know, the usual.
Well,
all for
here's the other thing I want to let everybody know. We're starting to redo the thumbnails and the descriptions in all the videos. So this one had the improved thumbnail, and the past 2, 19 and 18, have been done. And if you look in the descriptions, they have all the time links to each album that was presented, the top 5. It also has a link in every one to the current 500 list. So if you're ever wondering what's on the 500, there's a list out there now in all the videos. So and thanks for all the help on Instagram. I think we're going to hit 1,000 on Instagram probably in the next 2 weeks. That's terrific. But if you know people that like to watch music related podcasts and stuff or YouTube content, please have them come over, check us out, maybe subscribe. We're going to try to get on a push to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that would help us out a lot too.
Cool. Oh, and Stacy, you guys are getting. There's 4 Women on the Record hats coming to you guys.
Oh,
to you.
wow.
Those ones are embroidered. We'll see how they come out. I don't know. These is printed on, but we'll see how those come up. But there are 4 pink 4 Women on the Record hats.
I was going to
coming
ask
your
what
way.
color are they? They're pink.
Yeah.
Oh,
When are the Return of Gonzo shirts coming, Sean? I think
Yeah.
we were.
Well, if we get a graphic, we can get one
well,
pretty quickly.
Jake, we're monitoring those very closely. We put them up for pre-order, and as of yet, no one's bought one. So
We actually had someone we had someone return one, and they didn't even
Listen.
buy one.
Those things are going to be vintage quickly.
yeah, I hear there's something about a class action lawsuit pending if we even think about selling any of those T-shirts.
I mean, hey, they're going to be
Great.
classics.
I don't know how I missed it. There was an Instagram. You are now at 8. Yeah. Like there is an Instagram. Like we do all. I think the Instagram is pretty cool. It's about as creative as I get. We take there's an album report for every album we add. That's basically what the Instagram is, and we're actually attracting on Instagram some non-whatnot people are commenting and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then we promote the upcoming episode. That's basically what I have time to do now. So we'll see where we go. We're working on the YouTube. Is kind of going to have to be a focus because we need more than 175 subscribers.
Yeah. And we do have a TikTok. There's only one thing on it, and it's Jake's hot take from the hot tub.
That should be watched. It's important.
So if you want to watch the hot take,
It's
of Jake-
informative.
I think
More
I'm
to
gonna
come.
repost that on Instagram. I'm gonna bring that back to life.
yeah.
So
More to come. Hot
you
takes
give-
from the hot tub.
Can you
Don't,
give us
know.
one? Can you give us a Beck song for the hot tub? The next one.
Yes. In fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll do a Return of Rentals lyrics hot takes from the hot
No one
tub.
won't even know what you're saying. They'll think you made it up.
Oh yes, they will.
Well, the
They'll know.
interesting thing about the hot takes is Jake is not a lyrics guy, right? But he does a video focused on really cool lyrics. So
There you go. Say that.
let's see.
So
Does
if you
he-
want
Some lyrics I
find
listen
us on
to.
TikTok, there's only one thing there. Give it a watch.
Anyway, again, thanks, chat. You guys are great. It's always good. Like we had a good crowd tonight. I think next week is going to be must watch TV because we don't know what's going to happen. If you've been in one of Kim's stream, you know there is no producing or emceeing her. So we look forward to having her. We think it's going to be a lot of fun. So tune in next week.
It'll be fun.
Was it Rachel's Records Instagram? I know it's
It's the same. It's the same at 3 Men on the Record.
Had fun, Tucker. You bet, brother.
so if you search this, I think there's an underscore between
Rachel's.
it.
Yeah.
Rachel's Records. I think it's spelled like that. It's spelled a little different. But there's some clips to her her pilot podcast. Her pilot episode and some different things. So check that out so you're prepared when you come into the show on next Wednesday.
Yeah,
Next
maybe you guys
Thursday.
can ask her. Go out. I've watched some of the preview clips. It looks interesting. Of course, I love record stores, so I'm going to be interested in it. But
Check
Yeah.
the reins. Hold
check them
on
out.
tight.
Maybe you can ask her some questions about it. I mean, you do a pilot and you got to shop that thing around. So I'm sure she'll be here. One of the things she'll be promoting it, trying to.
Yeah, and
People interested.
and get people commenting on there, comment on the Instagram because I guess more comments on it is going to help. Thank you. Stay up there at the tree for that.
Yeah.
Because the more comments, the more leverage that they have to get this thing rolling even faster. So thank you guys. All right, go check that out. And I think that's about it, guys. Great job, guys.
I think we're done.
I mean,
Great show.
I think you three did great.
We know, but my back
Oh.
hurts from carrying you.
Oh,
Nice.
I feel you.
On Instagram, Mask Man. On Instagram, look up that Rachel's Records on Instagram.
yeah.
And make sure you spell it that way. And there's some clips there. And I think on YouTube, I think there might be too.
Yeah, if you go and you watch one all the way through, it'll just start showing up on your timeline. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
Sean, a
Rachel's
brown
Records,
paper
so.
bag is coming to your doorstep very soon, my friend.
Awesome.
Brown
wait.
paper bag
Burn
might be on fire. Might be on fire.
So mature, Jake. So mature.
So immature. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
It was
Good
fun.
night,